Hello Internet, welcome back to our Norse playthrough of Crusader Kings 3. In the last episode, we had our ruler pass away. This is mostly okay. We did have an heir, and we only had one heir, so everything passed directly into our heir's hands. Now, at the moment, our our stepmother, how do I see my court? Yes, court. My stepmother, assuming she's still here, is currently pregnant. It doesn't say that she's my stepmother, which is odd. Oh, this is not my stepmother. Where's my stepmother? Did she return to her own home? I think she left. She left with my father's child in her womb. That is somewhat upsetting. No, copy. Here. Is currently pregnant. So my mother, stepmother, is currently pregnant. So we will at some point get a half brother, which, worst case scenario, if our guy dies, we might play as the half brother, assuming, we don't have children of our own. So we're not in a game ending situation exactly, but until she gives birth, I don't think there's much we could do. If we died today, we lose the game, and that is the end of the game. So we immediately want our heir to start having children. So first thing we want to do is sway our spouse. I think we want to romance her because she is our religion and whatnot. We have a very high chance of us becoming soulmates, which will increase her love of us and probably increase the amount of, whether we have children or not. So we're going to start romancing our wife immediately. Now, upon succession, there are a lot of things that kind of happen. Mostly people hate you is like the main thing. So if we go to our council, you'll see everyone has a very negative opinion of us. If we hover over this, we can see that it's the short reign penalty. Basically, because we're a brand new ruler, people don't have faith in our ability to rule, so they dislike us. So usually it ends up with everyone hating you, which is, often very, very problematic. You'll see our wife is still fond of us, thankfully. Although, yeah, she doesn't have a short reign penalty. It's interesting that she's craven, which is a sin in this religion, and yet she is the religious figurehead for our little nation here. We need to appoint a steward. I guess our previous steward left upon my father's death. We don't have a good steward. We could try to recruit someone specifically for that purpose, but I don't think that that's very likely. So I think we just assign this guy. Your chancellor. No, I really need you to be the chancellor. Our court is very small. We don't have very many people here. These are terrible. If we assign them as stewards, they're going to get a lot of negative events about them bungling things up. So I don't think we want to do that. Unfortunately, I don't know a great way to find people. In the previous games, there was a people finder where you could find and recruit people. I don't see that anywhere, so I don't know that we can do that. So for the time being, we will just not have a steward, which is, it sucks real bad. Because our character is better at stewardship than our father was, we actually have a higher holding limit, so we could hold more land, which is good because we're probably going to conquer them in the near future. Unfortunately, this character is not very good. He's craven, which means he is basically a coward. You'll see his martial skills not very high. What that means is that we're going to have lower levies. People are going to respect our military prowess a lot less than they did our father, who was quite good. We are diligent, which is fine. We are honest, which is less fine. I would have rather had those points in intrigue than diplomacy. We'll talk about the skills as we need to. And we are a thrifty clerk. What that means is we get a huge bonus to stewardship, as well as a stewardship lifestyle experience bonus. So unlike our father, who was a military man, we are going to be more of a steward. I have not explored the stewardship tree, which is why don't we do that now? We are currently missing a lifestyle. So we need to select a lifestyle. I guess we'll go into stewardship, because that's where we'll get bonus points. I would really rather you be military, but you're a coward. So steward it is. We have some benefits. We can demand payments in exchange for hooks that we have. Hooks are essentially like learning a secret about someone or having someone owe you a favor. And we can, instead of getting them to do something for us, like normally you would use that and say like, okay, I have this stuff on you. I'm going to blackmail you so you pay me more taxes. Instead of that, we can demand a flat payment for those things. We can extort subjects. Demanding extra gold from our subjects, that sounds terrible. Monthly income while at war is 10% bonus. So avaricious seems to be focused on exploiting money out of people and very focused on vassals and things and just money income I do want more money. Sell titles. Avaricious. More tax bonuses. That sounds terrible. Architect. Collect taxes. Better building construction. Fort level garrison. Levy reinforcement. Capital. Popular opinion. Domain limit. And then architect. What is an architect? It's more building stuff. We will be doing a lot of building in this guy's lifetime, most likely. So that could be good. And administration is like when we're a vassal, levy contributions from vassals, domestic affairs, people's opinions of us, tyranny down, vassals are less likely to join. So very vassal focused is what the stewardship tree seems to be. What does administrator give us? Stewardship, diplomacy, and vassal opinion. We will at some point in the future start having vassals, so I don't hate this. If it were just me, I would be picking the architect tree, but I think we might want to stick with avaricious for the time being. So 10% income, +3 stewardship, and I don't know what enemy agent acceptance is. Stewardship, courtier and guest opinion, +20. That would be nice because it would give us some of the stuff to negate our short reign penalty. I would rather have the income, I think. 10% though, we earn so little. Give me this for now. We can change it every 5 years. We'll figure that out as we go. I've never done the stewardship thing, so I don't know which ones are best. Don't hate me. If you wanted to watch someone min-max, you probably wouldn't be watching my stuff. It's alerting us we don't have a steward. Unfortunately, we can't be our own steward. So we'll ignore that for now. We don't have anyone. No heir of our dynasty is quite bad. If our character dies, that is the end of our game. We will work on him having children as quickly as possible. Low county control, yes. We still want our guy to increase control. We can create the duchy. Yes, unfortunately, our father was never able to elevate himself from lowly count. I guarantee our son will, however. In fact, when this raid returns home, we will create the duchy and take control of that title. We can also take concubines because we don't currently have concubines and people are thinking less of us because of it. Pretty sure some of you were our father's concubines, which makes this a little bit weird, but you know, leader's got a leader, I guess. She's intimidated by our dreadful reputation. Fearing you, she is less likely to oppose you directly. I don't really want to have sex with someone who is afraid of me. That sounds terrible. But we need to take some courtiers, some concubines, so we will just take some young concubines. I feel weird doing it. I know that some people are, not okay with the idea of concubines. I still am a little unclear on whether they are willing participants or not. Makes me a little uncomfortable, but alas, as a Norse person, they expect us to have those things, or a pagan, or whatever thing determines that we need to have concubines. Do we still not have enough? We'll see as this goes if we don't have enough. And we don't have enough champions, which is an issue our father was struggling with as well. So quite a few problems. Let's turn our attention back to raiding for the time being. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do to get people to like us. We immediately got a pop-up about romancing our wife. The time has come to let my feelings towards Gidja Ursa be known. I want her... Are they two different... Oh, it's just her name. I want her to remember this day for the rest of her life. Sing a love ballad, secretly plant a letter in her chambers, write a love poem, or go with my gut in the moment. Well, what kind of person are you? You're a scribe, you're shy, you're just, and you're diligent. So singing her a ballad would probably embarrass a shy person, so I don't think that that is the way to do things. In fact, I think that secretly planting a letter in her chambers would be the best way to go. That way she's not exposed in any way. It's a very personal, intimate thing. Yeah, secretly plant a letter. My declaration of love for Gidja Ursa's eyes only. No one else matters. I pour my heart out, page after page, my feelings growing as I finally put them into words. The ink has barely dried as I set out for Ursa's chambers. I gently place the scroll on her bolster. Will she lay here tonight dreaming of me? The waiting is unbearable. The thought of rejection makes me sick to my stomach. When her reply arrives, I tear the seal with shaking hands. While I cannot encourage you, my liege, I am most grateful for your kind words, yours faithfully. So unfortunately, no benefit. It's just a neutral reaction, and we'll continue trying to seduce her. I'm sorry, to romance her. We were seducing, our father was seducing his wife. We're romancing ours. So we're going to raid this final area and then send our boys home to recoup the gold. Lively livestock. As additional payment for a recent trade, I find myself in possession of a large herd of cattle. I've been assured that the animals are of the highest quality, but the question of what should be done with them remains. I believe this is because of our stewardship. Nedens will prosper. They will gain cattle herd for 15 years, which gives greater development. Unfortunately, as a tribal nation, development does not matter, I believe, until you are in feudalism. It's a beautiful herd, but it could be larger. We attempt to breed, so Nedens will likely get the herd thing for 15 years. Oh, large cattle herd, it is even better. But again, development does not matter. Or we butcher them for money, which frankly I think is the way to go. So 50 gold in my pocket. Great. And we will finish the raid. We really need to keep a close eye on these raids as they're happening. Okay. Now, if you can make it safely home, yes, go by boat. That makes sense. We can't be engaged in a boat. So let's just send them by boat. That way we don't have to worry about traipsing through people's land here. We'll send our men back. We will as soon as they enter our territory, we will gain all of the money as well as some prestige. So they have 60 gold. We will get 60 gold added to our treasury as well as 60 prestige. Am I still short on concubines? I am. I don't like taking concubines. Sure, you're young. Actually, maybe we want someone who's not young, so the birth chance of other children is lower. You're 36. Are you my mother? You are. I don't want to marry my father's wife or take her as a concubine. Makes me a little unhappy. Oh, but she could end up giving our children clubfoot, which I don't know why it's not displayed here. It seems like an important thing. Didn't it just say clubfoot? What? It literally just said clubfoot. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, clubfoot. Why is that not listed here in the traits? That seems like an important trait to know. Children could be melancholic. Sure, we'll take this person. No, that's my No, I don't know. Ursa, Linda. Oh, here's the club. I see. When it's putting them up here, it's not displaying in the list. I see. My mistake. So we will take this young lady as my concubine. Can create duchy, few champions, blah, 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 etc. Took Linda as our woman. Yes, yes, yes. So, as soon as these men return, we will get quite a lot of money. 60 gold and 60 prestige and loot. We really need the prestige as well. People are really not going to like us very much. Because we're a new ruler and we're not very well known, we will disband our army, send these boys home after their lengthy time raiding. As Norse people, we actually need to maintain a state of war for long periods of time. If we are at peace for too long, our people don't like that. That's one of the tenets of our... Is it Norse? No, actually it may be paganism that does that. Where does it say about war? Warmonger. Our at peace opinion instead of our offensive war opinion. Basically, we don't like being at peace. We like to war and raid. So we need to war and raid occasionally. If we scroll out, you can see where the religion is currently located. This is the religion map mode, which will matter later on, but now is not a big deal. And here's our human sacrifice tenet, which lets us be, gain piety from sacrificing people. Holy sites, we don't need to worry about any of that right now. Here's some random information. Apparently cousin marriage is permitted. Sexual relations between cousins will not give the incest secret. Yeah, but don't bang your cousin. So let's turn our attention back to war. We want our men to recoup, and then we're going to go to war with Jörgavur, which is perfectly fine. We could go to war right this second. We have more men than they do, but it's close, and we kind of want as many men as possible. That way, even if we lose a bunch of men at war, we're not super vulnerable for our neighbors to come in and swoop in and take our land. We do have less levies than our father did. I believe that's due to our low martial score. The rain is pouring down outside. My thoughtful Gidja Ursa sighs as she looks out the blurred window. How wretched Arendal can be. I wish I had someone to keep me company during long and dreary days. Is my Rose a cat person or a dog person? She wants company. Why wouldn't you offer yourself? cat will keep her happy, dog will make an excellent companion, or I will always be at your side. Well, that makes sense to offer myself. I don't know, are you a cat person or a dog person? You're shy, just diligent. Honestly, cats are terrible. There's a chance that she will like either one, but a chance she will lower our opinion of us. The safe bet is just to make her like us more. But have a cat, dear. It gained a special gift, which means she enjoyed the cat. Great. And what did that do for us? Special gift. She likes Craven. She likes us because we're a coward. Oh, make sure you're paused. Oh, my stepmother had a daughter, which means we do not have an heir. If that had been a son, I believe he would have counted as our heir, possibly. So we now have a 100% chance of romancing her, but it will take us 3 years to get to the point where we can. I believe that is because of the diplomacy skill of this guy. I believe the higher your diplomacy, the more likely you are to succeed at positive schemes, I think is how that works. So my mother had a daughter. We don't really care about our sister, frankly. She's not going to do much for us. Even if I raise her up and teach her a lot of good things, it doesn't really matter because she's our sister. Her prowess is 1, which is still better than my character, who had a 0 last I checked. So this baby has a better personal martial ability than our character does because we are a coward. That is disappointing. We're going to pass some time. We're going to recoup our men, so let's rapidly pass some time here. Speed up. Just so you know, I don't have the best computer in the world, so it is possible that during really advanced speeds we may get some choppiness. I apologize. I'm a baby YouTuber. I can't afford nice computers the way a lot of big people can. Fate smiles upon me. My wife, Gidja Ursa, is bearing my child. I cannot wait to hold the babe in my arms. Excellent. We really are hoping for a son, but we'll see what happens. We're going to just let our men continue to reinforce. Now, we do have 239 gold, so there are a few things we should do. We should create the Duchy of Agder, grant the title to ourselves. Yes, we will gain a bunch of prestige, which again, we need some prestige. It did cost us a lot of money, but we have now been elevated to a duke. In this area, the dukes are called jarls. So because of that, we get a nice little crown on us and our wife's head. And in addition to that, now, if we were to go through succession, our child would inherit the duchy. Our main heir... Oh, she is our heir. Our sister is our heir. If we were to die, our heir would inherit our highest title, which would be the duchy of this area. And then his siblings would inherit, like, the county titles. So even if we die, we would not lose control of the entire empire. We would lose control of like some counties, but they would still be underneath the umbrella of our overall nation, if that makes sense. So we don't have to worry too much about that at the moment. Now we should also look at developing our land. Now this is probably my favorite part of Crusader Kings. Like, war is fun and all, and it's nice to conquer the world like you're playing Risk and whatnot. All of that is interesting. My least favorite part of Crusader Kings is the succession game, losing your heirs and trying to cobble your empire back together after a succession war and things like that. But another part I really like is the ability to develop individual areas. So we control all of this. Like I said, if we get succession going on, we're going to maintain control of our main area. So in general, it's best to upgrade your capital areas first. Our capital currently is in Nadens here. And we can see that because our little heraldry is over this area. So we want to develop this first because this will always remain under our control. Now, each area can be built up. So as a tribal ruler, we can't build like cities and stuff at the moment. As we progress, we will be able to do that. So currently, we only have the option of upgrading our existing tribal holdings. So we're going to check out our tribe. Currently, the tax is 1.37. There's 15 loot here. That doesn't matter. And we have 285 levies from this area. You'll see we're getting a penalty because our martial score is terrible. Now, we can build buildings that affect this individual county. And then once we have a duchy, which we do now, we can also construct, and this is just because we're tribal, we don't have the ability, like our current culture stuff and everything, we don't have the ability to do this yet. But eventually we're going to get a chance to, in each duchy, build a single building that applies to the whole duchy. All the individual buildings only apply to the county, but the special duchy building applies to the whole duchy. So, currently we can only upgrade the basic buildings, and there's nothing here. We're very tribal, there's no development. If we went to like France, and we clicked on any random place, they're going to have upgraded buildings. So here they have some stuff going on. So there are a lot of buildings available, and then each building can also be upgraded additional times. So here we could build palisade walls, for instance, and if we click preview, we can see that it can be upgraded to a second tier, which will give additional bonuses over time. So in the early game, normally I build anything that upgrades my levies because military control and having more men is hugely important in conquering. However, we are Norse, and we're in a very underdeveloped area as a tribal ruler. We make basically no money. It can also be really beneficial to build money-generating buildings early in the game. However, because of our poor martial skill, I do think levies are the way to go. If we had our old ruler, I would probably have focused on taxation. But because our guy is a coward with such a low martial score, we're getting penalties to our number of men. So I think we really need to expand our levies. So let's take a look at what we can do. If we build walls, we will get a fort level up, which means it will be harder to siege in this area. So if an enemy comes in, it'll be harder for them to siege us. We will get an advantage when we fight in this area. So if we stand here and an enemy army attacks into us, we will get an advantage. We will get 100 extra men in the levy of this area, which is nearly 33% of our current levies. The garrison will also increase, which means there will be 400 men inside of the garrison. So the number of men required to siege us would be much higher, so it would be harder for the enemy to take our area. And then in our entire realm, all of our soldiers would get, all spearmen would get a damage bonus, a toughness benefit, as well as archers. So that's pretty good. You'll see a building requires both gold and prestige. Because we're a tribal ruler, it requires prestige. I believe it's cheaper for us, but it's also a higher prestige cost. I think if we were like, England, it would just be flat gold or something like that. Or another feudalism nation. We can also build war camps, which give a higher benefit to levies, but it doesn't give any benefit to garrisons. However, it would give us an extra knight slot. It would make our knights more efficient, and it would give benefits to our other things. Gathering halls, 100 levies, but it benefits us with control and prestige, and then markets are for taxation. I really do think the raw number of men is the most important, but I do think palisades are better. Because I don't really care about knights and stuff, but an extra 50 men might really help out with our low skill. Oh, it's a tough one. Give me, how far can you be upgraded just once? Because of our current limitations on culture and stuff. It'll take 5 years? Okay, well, this only takes 3 years and gives us, 60% of the benefit. Give me the palisades. Constructing palisades will be finished in 872. Okay, so now we've developed our realm a little bit. You'll see our gold has been depleted again. We're still working to raise control in this county. We want our men to come back. You'll see our reinforcement rate is lower than it was with our father. It was much higher. And I believe it also factors in the fact that there are so many men. I believe when you have a lower number of men available, it reinforces more quickly. So like, let's say I had 10 men total out of 966. I believe that the reinforcement number is much higher than. I believe it has a scale like that. 619 men. They have 413 levies, and then they have a 200 standing militia of footmen. We can hire, they're called men-at-arms. So we've talked about levies and stuff. Men-at-arms are kind of like special groups that we hire to tag along with our army. Because we are tribal and whatnot, this is done with prestige. Normally you would be paying these people, I believe, if I understand it right. I could be wrong about that. But we do have enough prestige to hire some men-at-arms, and they would greatly improve our numbers. Like currently, if we raised our troops, we have 865. If we hired the pikemen, for instance, how many Show me, give me a pop-up, please. How do I know how many men? Men-at-arm limits are 4. How do I know how many? Let me look at your men-at-arms. You have 200 footmen. Are they just blocks of 100? They are 100. Okay. And then each men-at-arms have special abilities. They cost prestige to maintain, but they have special abilities. So in the forest, these guys get bonuses. In a taiga, which I don't even know what that is, or in jungle, they get some bonuses. I don't know the bonuses of the men-at-arms. It would be really great if this tooltip let you see any of that stuff. Would be really nice. Why don't we just hire... I mean, we might as well. We're getting a lot of prestige per month, so we can afford them. I don't really want to spend all my prestige, though. Give me the cheapest ones. No. Give me the bowman. Oh, it does show. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So it shows damage, defense, pursuit, and screen. These are all factors in single combat. I don't know the combat system that well. I'm more focused in these bonuses. Hills, forest, and taiga, they get bonuses. Full maintenance, unraised. They do cost maintenance even when they're not raised, which is a problem. The light footmen don't. We'll start with 5 soldiers and gradually reinforce to 100. I believe they cost to reinforce as well. I don't know how you work, really. Why can't I hire horsemen? They have penalties in certain terrains, but they're much, much stronger. I would really like to raise the pikemen because they seem so much more powerful. Like twice as powerful. Just hire the base level so I can get an idea of how this works. So they're going to reinforce over time as well. 5 of 100. Maybe every month they reinforce. 15 out of 100. Okay, we'll give them some time to build up while we polish off our last few numbers as well. Anything else of an issue? You suggest that I raid. Raid Yathar. Where is that? Yathar. I don't see it nearby. So that sounds like a terrible idea. I don't want to send my troops away. We can find it. Find title. Thar. Why are these things popping up? They don't match my... Okay. Raid. Oh, you know what? It's because of the AE combination. It's not JAE, it's J this symbol. I don't know how to make that on a keyboard, so I guess I can't search for that, which is pretty dumb. Okay, well, probably... No, it's not there. Whatever, we're going to go to war here in a minute. Doesn't matter. Focus on our military. Let them build up. Issues, fabricate claim, too few champions can declare war, etc. Okay. A lady's honor by Odin. Hofgadi Ursa is an unsufferable doxy. Have you seen how she appears to be deep in thought? Ridiculous. My chancellor, Ottar, throws his head back with a wicked laugh. Ursa is conversing with her friends, but I can tell she hurt him. I hate to see her hurt. Dude, that's my wife, bro. Go punch him in the face. Vile lies, draw your sword. No, we're not going to do that because we're a coward. There is a system in Crusader Kings 3 called the stress system. What this does is whenever you go against your character, you gain stress. So for instance, our character is a coward. So if I were to decide to go into a duel with this man, I would gain stress because it's against my character who would never do this because he's a coward. You gain 42 stress because you're craven. Plus, our prowess sucks, so we would probably just lose anyway. So not doing that. Although in real life, I'd probably punch the guy in the face. That's my wife, bro. Diplomacy challenge against Otter. We have a 59% chance we get him to apologize. A 40% chance he refuses to listen. That would be, I guess, a check of his diplomacy versus my diplomacy, which is not great. Or, Ursa, you couldn't be more wrong and this guy likes me. I can't. I love my wife, bro. You can't. I have to try. You should apologize to her. Worst case scenario, he just loses opinion of us, but I don't really like him that much anyway. He lost opinion of me and refused to apologize. Okay. I mean, I could, like, throw you in jail for being a douche. Can I do that? In prison? I have the law of disparate tribes. Characters cannot be in prison. That's a great point. We should raise our crown authority. Oh, we can't. We don't have enough prestige. So essentially, as a tribe, there are laws in the game and things that let you determine, like succession, for instance, which we have very limited options on currently because we are very early in the game. But there are rules, and one of the main things is kind of our authority over our vassals and things. We want to raise this before we have a lot of vassals, because sometimes vassals will go against you and you won't be able to raise your laws, or at least that was the case in Crusader Kings 2. I don't know if that's true in CK3. And then the higher authority that we have, the more stuff we can do. So for instance, currently, we cannot even imprison people, which is just ridiculous. They do like it, though, because they have a lot of autonomy. If we raise it, we'll lose that benefit, but we'll be able to imprison people, and that doesn't really matter. And then as we go up, we can do more and more. We can revoke titles from people. We can retract vassalage, things like that. And people start to dislike us more and more. So as we go up, the vassals are getting less and less autonomy, so they're more and more unhappy. But I believe we need the highest authority in order to switch to feudalism. And we really want to be feudal because we'll get a lot of benefits from being feudal, ultimately. So, our men are reinforcing. We're going to war soon. I'm going to let this tick one more time. My son and heir, with a tired yet blissful smile, Ursa presents me with our perfect little son. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would befit a Jarl? Give me a good Norse name. Actually, he was named after my father there originally. I kind of like that. We're going to name him after my father. Now, importantly, when we have a child, what we want to do... Go to my child, please. No, that's my sister. No, that's my sister. When we have a child, we want to begin educating them immediately. The more we educate... Oh, we have a hook on him just because he's our kid? He is a member of our dynasty, and he is our heir. We want our child to get an education basically immediately. That way, you're a bleeder. Severe health penalty. Oh no, our baby's gonna die. Oh, that's not good. Well, we have to proceed with the possibility that he'll survive and become our main heir. So we want to give him a guardian to educate him. So we would go to educate child. I believe that the child has an opportunity to learn things from the parent, or from the guardian. So if we educate our child, he's likely to become a thrifty kind of character. 2 stars indicates that we're not very good at this whole thing, education. So we would like to hire someone preferably who, one, has a military focus, because we really are going to be military focused for the next century or two. And also 2 is better than a 2-star. So I believe that my stepmother, my father's wife, is a brilliant strategist, which is a martial trait, and she's quite good. She's a 4-star educator. The problem is she's of a different religion, and I'm worried that she will have some kind of negative impact on our child by being a different religion and culture. Who else do we have? You are also a brilliant strategist. And you're actually Norse and our religion. Yeah. You educate my child, please. And he'll like us more because we trusted him with such a close member of our family. Became his ward. Kjotva, yes, became his ward. Gained up to 25 opinion of you. Plus 5 per month. Guardian of my heir. Okay. Great. And our stepmother hates us because we're a different religion. Anyway, we're about ready to go to war. How are my men at arms? Not amazing, but they're okay. How many men do you have? 620, and that's with your men at arms? We have 1,000. We should be fine. Let us go to war, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 35 minutes. Oh, you know what? We didn't really do much in this episode, but in the next episode, we will go to war. So for now, everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully you had a nice time. Remember to click that like button. It really helps put my video into the algorithm and get me a better chance at getting some more viewership, which of course I desperately desire. But for now, that's going to do it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a good time, and I will see you in the next episode.